Hello and welcome to another week in our garden. Now it's very overcast and cloudy and there's a gusty wind on and it looks like it's going to rain. We've had some rain this morning, it still looks a bit overcast. But anyway, we need to prune the apple tree. Now as regards pruning the apple tree, we have summer pruned it, but if I remember right, most of the branches on this side of the tree, when the fruit was on, were right down. So I'm going to prune these lower branches through here just to take the weight of the fruit off the branches when they're just fruit, and then they won't droop on the floor and even break, which would be even worse. So it's this area here what I will prune. Now they're quite strong branches, but this one will have to come off anyway, it's going inside. But this, can you see, look, where that goes down, it could break right off at the trunk. So we need to take this off. So I think I'm going to take it all off here and let these branches here fruit. But there's a bud there, look, so let's start and see how we go. Good sharp secateurs, and obviously, as in all pruning, just above a node. This one, we're going to have to go here, I think. Take that off. This one will be rubbing on there, look, so let's have that away while we're here. Can you see these two branches here that have actually crossed? Well, we desperately need, now we definitely need to remove this one, so let's take that one out right back and then we'll prune the branch it's on. This one, I'm going to take this one off about here, I think. And this one that's going into the tree, we'll take that off completely, look. There you go. Now we're getting there. This one, that's fine. We need to take this branch here that's coming up. You can see the weight of the fruits that's going to break that. So I'm taking it off right down here, this one, and off. Just tidy that up a bit, that's it. This is going in the wrong direction as well, so let's take that one off, then we can see what we're doing. This one's far too strong. Piece of dead wood there, look, so we'll take that off anyway. Oh, that's hard. There you go, I'll pick that up in a moment. This branch here, you see, all the fruit will be on the end and it'll just go down. So we'll take it off at this break just here. That's done nicely. This one's crossing over these, so we'll take that one off as well. It'll give us a bit more access on the path as well. Can you see these branches here? Again, it'll just go down with the weight of the fruit and snap. So we'll take those off there and there. This one, we'll nip under there and take that off there. So I'll do these three and show you them. There you are, see that looks a lot better already. Above this, I'm not going to touch these because that'll be a summer prune, but they're fine, they'll be alright. It's those branches there we need to take back now because again they'll just snap off. Same story just here, look, the crossing over, so we'll reduce that one and then we'll take those off. So take this one here just above that node there, it will soon break. Take that one out. This one again, you see, it's just going to go down, so take that one right back. There you are. Again, crossing branches there, let's take that one off. We won't go so hard on this one because we are going to remove that. And then this one to that node there, look, that'll do nicely. Now looking at this end, there's if I reduce 1, 2, 3, I think that will do here, and then we'll leave the tree alone. So let's take this one back to start with. Then this one, we'll take it, let's take it there, shall we? If I can get on, there it is. That's fine, that one, but I do want that one off. There you go. Now let's reduce this one back. That one's crossing, so we'll take that. Now just look round the tree, see if there's any dead pieces that you need to cut off. We have cut one off, I can't see any more. But that's all I'm going to trim or prune on this apple tree this year. It was getting a bit sideways, but that will correct it. And then the next time we prune will be the summer prune, which you prune in the winter for shape, but you prune in the summer to get more fruit. Now that looks a lot better for a little bit of a trim around the side. Now remember, don't do your stone fruit, your plums, your cherries, etc. just yet. Wait till the summer, because there might be silver leaf in the air and the rain will wash it into the cuts that you just made if you have pruned it, and that will introduce the silver leaf virus into the whole tree. So stone fruits leave alone for a bit. Now we're going to put the winter wash on today, but the wind is so blustery, I don't want to risk doing it and then spread the spray everywhere except on the tree that I want to do. So what I shall do, we have done this before, if you do your winter wash, remember to follow the instructions on the product, which I will do, but if I can grab it one morning first thing and there's no wind, I'll get them sprayed. There's only 3 to do and the grapevine, so, but this, no, it's too risky to do it in this. Let's go up the shed and put some seeds in. Now we've come out the wind a little bit and into the shed, and I'll just show you my potatoes have arrived. Now I've put them in the cell trays because I haven't got any of the egg trays this year. I only had 2, and I wanted, so I've reused the plastic trays. They're on the way out, but we'll get another year or so out of them. Now this one, as you can see, you get a good choice of sizes in them. The really big ones you can actually cut up if you like, but I don't do that. But what I will tell you is when you put them to sprut or sprut, always put the rose end, which is that end, facing upwards so they'll sprut out. That end is where it was joined to the main potato there, and you don't seem to have so many eyes on that side. So we'll put that end up and then they'll sprut a little bit quicker, and you won't get spruts coming out the bottom, and they're the ones that tend to break off because they're a lot weaker. And we'll put them in like that now, facing up nicely. Now as you can see, these are King Edwards, these have been the main crop, and then I have Desiree, which I like. Desiree, it always does well on this land. The slugs like it as well, but it's a good potato to grow on this heavy land. My second early this year, I've chosen Kestrel. Never grown this one before, so we'll have to see how we go with them. And then the first early, which is the Red Duke of York. Again, another new one to me. But we filled the tray, and I just wanted to show you here, these here, let me put them in my hand. These, probably that one as well. We'll keep those 2. These I'm going to reject because they're far too small, and I've got plenty for what I want here. You can actually put them in the ground in twos, but I always find that if they're small, they're never very successful. Now these were sent to me by one of my subscribers, Ian. Thank you, Ian. That's Ian Anderson up there in Bonnie, Scotland. He sent me these. They are supposedly blight resistant. Now there is a name, I'm sorry I can't pronounce it because it's a Scottish name, and I do apologise to all Scots, but Diane will pop it on the drop down so you'll see what it's called. They're lovely potatoes, and I don't know if you noticed, they're all about the same size, so that's what I like to see in seed potato. Now it also sent me a boiling of these potatoes, and I must admit they was very nice, Ian. I'll be looking forward to growing them, and I will actually save the seed of those. If I can't get to pronounce the name, I shall name them in this garden anyway, Ian's potatoes. Just looking at the size differences in all these potatoes and the ones that Ian sent, I just put it just like that. Now that, to me, is a good seed potato. These very large ones, I expect, look, you see, that's what I like to see, about that size. So if you're picking your own potatoes, if you imagine a duck egg, try and get them the size of a duck egg. Now the best ones. Now as regards the sprutting for when we plant them, what we'll do, we'll let them sprut away, and then when we go to plant them, we'll probably reduce some of them to 3 spruts, some maybe 2 spruts, see how we go. And the very early ones, first earliest, we won't sprut at all. We just put we won't remove any of the spruts on those. We just put them in with as many spruts as we can to get them up, and hopefully get a crop off them. Now what I do normally, I pop the potatoes over on this bench, and I cover them with a piece of jute, just like that. It just checks them a little, and then when we get nearer to planting time, I should take the jute off and let the spruts come. Cover the potatoes up. We'll have a quick look in the propagator of those seeds we planted last week. See, they're just coming up, so we'll have a look. Got some sweet peas here, they've all come up nicely. There's some peppers in this one, but they haven't come up yet. We'll see how we go with that one. These are the brown onions, the hybrids. They're coming up all right. A little bit sparse in that area, but that's fine. They're the red onions. They're coming up very, very well. I put some little gem in as well. These, what we'll do, we'll raise these in the greenhouse at the bottom of the garden, which is very, very warm down there. But when they're ready, we'll take you down and we'll plant those. Now this side, we've got the tomatoes. I don't know if you can see it, but the compost is just beginning to lift. So I think the tomatoes are just beginning to germinate. This one has got another packet of sweet peas in that I found, so I put those in. The other trays are just empty with compost in, just to hold the warmth in. We will put some more seed in next week, so we've got all the propagator full all the time. Just a little early yet to put some of them in, but we will next week. Now these are the broad beans I'm going to set today. Now you can set your broad beans in late summer, autumn, but I find if I do that around here, the pigeons eat the lot. So we put them in now, and I should pop them in the greenhouse and then harden them up and put them out as soon as they're ready. There's no real date, because as long as you harden them up properly, they'll be fine. And these are the seed. You can actually soak these if you want them quicker. Give them 24 hours in some tepid water and they'll swell up a bit. not like that though, I'll just drop one, I'll get that in a bit. What I wanted to show you, if you see some that are very flat and frizzled, reject those, you don't want those. You want nice plump seeds. They will be a little bit wrinkly because they're dry. All I'm going to do is set them on the side, or on the end if you like, push them in, 2 to a pot. We don't have an awful lot of these, but just enough. A couple of trays will be plenty. But just push them in. They'll be 24 hours soaking in the water when you water them, so they'll take the time germinating. There you go, look, just push them in on the sides. Right, so I'll finish this tray and then I'll come back to you. Now that's the 1 tray of broad beans done. I'll put the label in. When you're planting them, just push them in. The tough old things, they're dry and they're hard, so they will just push into the compost. But remember to give them a good watering when you're finished, and put them somewhere light and airy. I should keep mine in here until they break the surface, and then I take them down the greenhouse. Now that's the broad beans out the way. Well, half of them anyway. I'll finish those in a bit. Now I told you last week we'll show you my planting plan, or plan of planting, and so here it is. This is the board that I keep down here in the shed. When those broad beans are up and hardened off, that's where we'll put them on bed C, in that little place there. But I'll show you, I've made a copy of this so I can show you a lot easier. Now, as you can see, this is plot A. If you remember, we divided each plot into 4, and this year I'm getting 1 quadrant over to roots. Now that's a new one for me. We'll try it and see what happens. But the whole of A will all be for brassicas basically. So you've got your Brussels sprouts, your cabbages, your calabrese, your kohlrabi, etc. all in there. This is plot B. As you can see, it's mainly for potatoes, outdoor tomatoes and salads. That's each quadrant will have either a main crop, and then I've put the first and second earlies together in that quadrant. This is plot C, and I have included some of the plants that you've requested me to grow. Now we've sent for the seed of a lot of them, and as soon as that seed arrives I'll enter it onto the crop plan. I won't do it until the seed actually arrives. But as you see, the butternut squash will go on that big frame, and all other squashes will be in different parts of the garden away from those, so we don't get no cross-pollination. But everything else is fine. Sweet corn will be alright up there. Celery. We'll also have to work out where we're going to put the tunnels across the garden as well, and get those painted and ready. This is plot D. This is where the plum and the apple tree is. We just pruned that apple tree, so that's how far down the garden it is. This has had a lot of manure dug deep into it because it's all the heavy croppers, the beans and the peas, the onions, the leeks. They all need a lot of feeding, so we've really dug plenty in down there. It's a little bit wet for me to go down there and show you, but we will take you down as it dries out a little and show you the progress. The garlic has been underwater twice and still coming up, so that will be interesting to see what the garlic will produce this year. That's the garden plan as we stand at the moment. As I say, when the next lots of seeds start arriving that we've ordered, that you requested me to grow, we'll enter those into the plan. Now I haven't got room for everything you've requested, so bear with me. We'll get in what we can, and we will grow quite a bit of it in the greenhouses as well. That needs protection will grow in the greenhouses. Now I've just been looking out the window and it's just beginning to rain, so that'll cheer us up. Now we've had no winter as such this year. Now those of you who in the UK will remember the beast from the east, so beware you don't plant too much that you can't protect if that cold weather does come in late. That'll be it for this week. Many thanks for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing, we do appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you next week, and I'll see if I've got some more seeds to put in.